Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Okay, my screen is clear. Is my screen clear? Visible? Hello. Hello, my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we have
How, sir?
already finished unit number 1 and 2. We have also conducted test on unit 1 and 2. But as far as unit 2 test is concerned, I have observed that a lot of students haven't uh, taken the test seriously because the marks are very less. Why it has happened? Whether second unit was tough to understand or whether the MCQs were tough to understand? Yes, can anybody answer? I've seen that test 2 marks are very less as compared to test 1. Can anybody say what is the issue? All of you have solved the test, but marks are very less. That is in ranging from 12 to 17 out of 20. So I do feel so you should study unit 2 little bit as it looks very small, but I could say that there are a lot of contents in that unit. So take care, and the MCQs which I have sent to you, please study them, because the exam can be again of both the types. It may be of offline or it may be online. So if it is online, then all the MCQs have to be studied. Whether if it is offline, then the question and questionnaires will come out and you have to give the answer for that. So now we are going to start the unit number 3, that is classification and regression. So it is the continuation part of what we have studied in 1 and 2. So the section 1 actually are likely very much correlated with each other. All the 3 units are correlated with each other. So we have seen in the unit number 2 exactly what is classification and regression. Now we will go a little bit in depth about the concepts of classification and regression. So the classification, as we know, that it suggests that the output Y is discrete. It means the output may be yes or no. The output may be yes or no. It may be true or false. It may be male, female. It may be 1 0. So in that way, when the output is discrete, it falls in the category of 1 and 0. At that time we said to be as a classification. And as far as the regression is concerned, Y is continuous. When Y is continuous, that type is called as regression. So this is the basic difference between classification and regression. Now we are going to go a little forward and see that what these classifications where these classifications can be used, and what are the types of classifications. So we are going to see those basic concepts in detail about classification and regression. So classification is the task that requires the use of machine learning algorithms that learn how to assign a class label to the examples from the problem domain. So actually classification is nothing but we are using the algorithm to assign a class label, right? Assign a class label to the labels to the examples. An easy way to understand example is classifying emails such as spam or not spam. So if you could see that we have seen one of the applications of machine learning was to detect spam or not detecting the spam, that is spam or not spam. So this is the best example to classify. So one more example we can take is whether it is a disease is detected or not detected. So this could be also an example of classifying, but this is quite a similar and very famous application, that is spam and not spam, which are nowadays being used. In machine learning, classification, as the name suggests, classifies the data into different classes, groups, or into different parts. It is used to predict from which the data set the input data belongs to. So obviously it is going to predict whether the new data belongs to which kind of category, which kind of class, or which kind of groups. For example, if we are taking a data set of the scores of the cricketer in the past few matches, along with the average strike rate, not outs, etc., we can classify him as an in form or out of form. This is also a very good example of classification. If batsman is making runs from last 2 years, so he can predict based on the average strike rates and how many times he has been not out. Based on these feature characteristics, the machine learning algorithms can classify whether that batsman is in form or out of form. So that prediction can be also done with the help of classification, which is important part of an machine learning. The classification is the process of assigning new input variables x to the class that mostly likely belong to. जैसे मैंने कहा कि obviously already there are some classes and a new data is coming, and then it is classified to which category the data X belongs to. So based on the classification model as constructed from previously labeled training data. So according to the training data, it is going to identify whether the new data belongs to which category, whether A category, whether B category or C category, or the classes or the groups which we can say. So data with labels are used to train a classifier such that it can perform well on data without labels. सो लेबल्ड एंड अनलेबल्ड डेटा के बारे में हम ऑलरेडी बता चुके हैं. सो उसमें अगर आपका डेटा विथ लेबल्ड अगर ट्रेन करेंगे, सो इट कैन ऑल्सो परफॉर्म ऑन द डेटा विदाउट लेबल्स. सो अनलेबल्ड डेटा, व्हेन लेबल्ड डेटा is trained through a classifier, then it can also perform well on the unlabeled data also. This process of continuous classification of previously known classes trains a machine, and if the classes are discrete, it can be said to be as difficult to perform classification tasks. So obviously the discrete output, when output is discrete, it's better to go for the classification. So if the classified, if there are two types of data which can be given as an input to the classification, one is the labeled data and the other one is unlabeled data. So if you're going to train the labeled data with the help of classifier, then it should also give the output for those data which are without labels, right? So this is how the training a machine can do to identify our new data. If the classes are discrete, then classification is the best option to solve it. So you have to decide according to the applications whether it belongs to a classification or whether you should go for the regression. Now there are four types of classification you can see in the block, in the tree diagram. So there are four classes, four types of classifications which are available in this machine learning. First is the binary classification. So obviously binary means in ones and zeros and yes and no and all those things that will go into the binary. And the second one is a multi-class kind of a classifications. Third one is a multi-label classification. Third one is a multi-label classification. And then the fourth one is an imbalanced classification. So there are four types of classifications that occurs according to the types. But mostly if you're going to study here is which you are in the syllabus is binary and multi-class classification. So in case of binary, there will be only two classes. That is two classes means it may be a spam or it may be not spam. Then whether it is in inform or outform batsman, in this way there will be only two classes. But in case of multi classes, it will be having more than two classes. So at that time, how it is going to classify into the categories, that will belong to the multi-class type of classification. Now let us see what is binary classification. So obviously, as I said, that there are only two classes in case of binary classification, and there will be more than two classes as far as multi-class classification is concerned. So examples of the binary classifications may be email spam detection, that is spam or not, churn predictions, that is churn or not, then conversion predictions, buy or not. If you want to buy it, you buy it or not buy it. So only
Yes.
there are two classes in which in the binary classification: yes or no, true or false, one or zero, spam or not, form or not. In this way, buy or not. So in this way, there will be only two options available with you: either one or either zero, either true or either false. Typically, binary classification task involves one class, that is the normal state, and another class is the abnormal state. So obviously, normal and abnormal state is nothing but somewhere you have to decide whether you are going to go with one or zero, or whether you're going to go for disease or not disease, or whether spam or not spam. So obviously, if the spam is then, that is an abnormal state, and if not spam is there, then it is a normal state. So this is how you can define the normal state or abnormal state. This is what exactly it is, it has explained. Like example, not spam is a normal state, but spam is an abnormal state. Another example is cancer not detected is a normal state, whereas cancer detected is an abnormal state. So in this way, it is going to classify it into only two classes. So there is no options more than two classes. Now, which kind of classifications actually falls under binary classification? That is also the question that arises. So the class of a normal state is assigned the class label 0, and the class with abnormal state is assigned with class label 1. So obviously, if it is in a normal state, we will go for the, if it is a normal state, then we will go for the class label 0. But if it is for the abnormal state, then we are going to go for the class label 1. So actually what it does mean that there are only two states. So somewhere you have to decide that whether state 0 or state 1 belongs to which kind of classes. So in this, we will consider that 0 will be a normal state and 1 will be an abnormal state. So I have said what is abnormal. Cancer detection is an abnormal. The out of form is an abnormal. In form is normal. Not detected disease is normal. So in this way, you can decide whether which is normal and which is abnormal. So in this case, we have seen that the class label 0 is a normal state and class label 1 is an abnormal state. Popular algorithms that falls under binary classification includes a logistic regression. So logistic regressions actually gives only two classes, is helpful to differentiate for goes for the binary classes. Then comes your KNN, that is k nearest neighbor. So it finds out the nearest neighbor, and then it decides whether to fall in which categories. Then decision tree is obviously based on the binary classification, because it is divided into the subtrees, and then again subtrees to leaf node up till leaf node. Root node से लेकर leaf node तक का जो traveling है tree की, decision tree की, that has been completely based on how it goes with the decision: yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And if it ends to the leaf node, then the decision stops there. So obviously decision tree is also a best example of binary classification. Then comes support a vector machine is also one of the binary classification, and naive Bayes. So naive Bayes is also based on the Bayes theorem, is all comes under binary classification. So it is mostly based on the probability. The output estimation or prediction is based on the probability. So obviously the probability is going to be based on yes or no. So the probability of going to that particular output is 1. The probability of going to this output will be 0. So in this way, it can be also it can come under binary classification. Now, there are some of the terms that are related with the binary classification. So we have to study these terms that is related with binary classification, because once you do the binary classification, how you're going to say that my output is going to be perfect? You need to have some kind of parameters, right now. Because if when I say that there are 100 images with myself, and if my algorithm says that 98 there are 100 images, out of which 50 images are normal and 50 images are abnormal. Now suppose there are 50 images which are normal and 50 images which are abnormal, but whether my algorithm has detected those 50 images as normal or not, that I have to check. How I'm going to check? Because if I'm going to detect all of them, that means it's in 100%. If it is not detected, if some of them have not detected as a normal and detected as an abnormal, so this could be also the case. So I need to have some kind of parameters with myself to measure whether my algorithm is going right or not. So how you're going to check? So there are different parameters that comes under it. First one is a precision. So obviously this precision is a very common kind of things which normally I believe comes with the electronic equipments or devices. That how precisely you get an output is nothing but your precision. So precision in binary classification, yes or no, refers to the model's ability to correctly interpret positive observations. So it has to interpret positive observations. In the other word, how often does a positive value forecast turn out to be correct? यानी जितने बार मैंने हाँ बोला है, नॉर्मल है, सपोज नॉर्मल है, मैंने जितने बार हाँ बोला है उतनी बार वो करेक्ट आया है, यानी कि मेरा प्रिसीजन है, यानी कि मेरा वो प्रिसीजन है ना? अगर मैंने फॉर एग्जांपल देयर आर 50 images as normal, 50 images are abnormal. If 50 images are normal and if I'm predicting that 50 images normal are positive and all 50 images are coming to be positive, then that gives an 100% precision. So we may manipulate this matrix by only returning positive for single observation in which we have the most confidence. So accordingly, we can little bit manipulate whether my matrix is returning the positive value for each and every observation. That will give you the confidence as far as the precision is concerned. So precision in binary classification refers to the model's ability to correct interpret positive observations. यानी मैंने हाँ बोला है और हाँ ही आया है, यानी हाँ ही करेक्ट आया है। अगर ऐसे केस में जाते हो तो आप उसको प्रिसीजन कहते हो. सो ऑब्वियसली द एल्गोरिथम आल्सो हैज अ प्रिसीजन. You're going to calculate how precise my output is. If I'm saying yes, then output is also correct. It is coming yes, and that is correct. That is what the precision means. Second one is recall. Recall is also known as sensitivity. So obviously it is based on sensitive, how much my algorithm is sensitive to data. Recall is used to measure how sensitive the classifier is used to detecting positive cases. To put it in another way, how many real findings did we catch in our sample? We may manipulate this matrix by classifying both the results as positive. So how much it is sensitive if I'm been saying that the output is Y and the classifier is detecting Y only. So in that case, how much sensitive it is, my algorithm is how much sensitive to the data. That means how many real findings did we catch in our samples. So that is nothing but the recall. So sensitivity is also one of the important parameters. Like sometimes your algorithm is not sensitive to the data which you're giving, then the results may go in a wrong way. So your algorithm has to be precise as well as sensitive to the data. Okay. Then the third one is an F1 score. This F1 score can be thought of as a weighted average of the precision and recall. So obviously precision and recall को का weighted average निकाल के F1 score को लिया जा सकता है. The F1 score can be thought of as the weighted average of precision and recall. To put it in another way, the weighted average of precision and recall with the best value being 1 and the worst value being 0 is called as the F1 score. Precision and recall also make an equal contribution to F1 ranking. Obviously, you're going to take an weighted average of precision and recall. So obviously that weighted average is going to have an importance of both precision as well as recall. So you can consider that the best value which is being calculated as 1 and the worst being 0. So this is how the F1 score can be calculated. So obviously it totally depends on precision and recall. Precision is nothing but when I'm saying the output is yes, then how many times my output is going to be correctly yes. That is called as the precision. Recall is detecting the positive cases. That is putting in another way, we may catch in our sample. That is real findings to in we catch in our sample is nothing but recall, and by calculating the weightage average of the precision and recall, we can get F1 score. So best value being 1 and the worst value being 0 is nothing but F1 square score. So after binary classification, which will be only is based on the two classes, either 1 0, yes, no, true, false. But suppose if there are more than two classes, then what you're going to do? That's a question that arises. So I need to have the another classification type, that is called as a multi-class classification, in which you will be having more than two categories, more than two classes, more than two objects. It is not going to be restricted to any one or two. It is going to be more than two, so it might be anything. It might be 5 class, 6 class, or any type of class. So at that time your classification also need to put those that particular new data into the appropriate category. So for that thing, multi-class classification is going to play an important role. So we will see that what kind of classifications comes under this multi-class classification. Multi-class classification is the task of classifying the elements into different classes. Unlike binary, it doesn't restrict itself to any number of classes. Obviously, उसका कोई restriction नहीं है कि एक होना चाहिए, दो होना चाहिए या चार classes ही होना चाहिए. It may vary. Examples of multi-class classifications are classification of news in different categories. So obviously, when you find a newspaper, when you read a newspaper, you can see that there are different news. So political news is that, economical news is there, sports news is there, the finance news is there, the abroad news is there. So it does mean that there are different categories, and whatever the news comes into the picture, it is going to categorize in that particular category. Then classifying books according to the subject. So बहुत सारे books हो सकते हैं. Example, स्टोरी बुक्स हो सकते हैं, नॉवल बुक्स हो सकते हैं, सो टेक्निकल बुक्स हो सकते हैं. सो like I mean there are different categories of books in which you can go for. Then classifying the students according to their stream. So again, there are different streams in engineering. So you can see that electronics and telecommunication is one of them, computer, mechanical, civil, electrical, aerospace, aeronautics. So इतनी सारी categories में कौन सा टॉपिक आया या कौन सा न्यूज आया तो वो कौन से कैटेगरी में जाएगा, वो डिसाइड करने का काम होता है मल्टी क्लास क्लासिफिकेशन का. सो यू कैन टेक एग्जांपल्स लाइक news in different categories, books according to the subjects, and students according to their streams. In these, there are different classes for the response variables to be classified, and thus, according to the name, it is a multi-class classification. Now, this is the best example. This is the best figure which can give you the clear idea about the difference between the binary class and the multi-class in machine learning. So can a classification possess both binary and multi-class? So it is possibility कि दोनों cases में multi-class और binary class दोनों भी आ सकता है क्या? So let us see, assume it. Let us suppose that we have to do an sentiment analysis of person. If the classes are just positive and negative, then we will have it in a problem of binary class. अगर sentiments की बात करेंगे तो positive sentiment है या negative sentiment है तो उसको binary class में चला जाएगा, क्योंकि दो ही sentiments होंगे, एक तो positive और negative. लेकिन अगर उस humans के sentiment analysis में और बहुत सारे features आ गए, जैसे example है classes of sadness, happiness, disgusting, depressions, then it will be called as a problem of multi-class classification. So इसका मतलब ये है कि ये एक example ऐसा है जिसमें both binary as well as multi-class classification आ सकता है. So obviously when it is going to be binary, you have to consider only two features in the sentiment analysis of person. So one is negative and the other one is positive. But if it is but if it is more than two features of an emotions of human psychology is concerned, then the sentiment analysis is concerned, then sadness, happiness, disgusting, depression, these all will go into the multi classes. So if he is sad, it will go into the sadness. If he is happy, it will go to the happiness. If it is not at all happy, then it is disgusting. And always, obviously, depression is one of the classes of problems. So you can see from here is that there are x1 and x2. Yet there are two variables. So you can see that it can be divided into yes or no, or 1 or 0. But in case of x1 and x2 variables, in this case, you can have three categories. So you can see this is one category, this is two category, and this is three categories. So when a new data enters into here, it has to classify whether it belongs to category 1, category 2, or category 3. In this case, it just have to take care whether this or this. But here there are three categories in which it has to take a decision. So multi-class classification little bit goes with the complex kind of decision, because he has to search for three categories, do the calculations about nearing to that three categories. Now we can see that we can classify or differentiate between binary and multi-class. So how the differentiating points will come, because this lecture will be is total about binary and multi-class only. So in case of number of classes, so obviously here there are only two classes, two groups, or two objects. But in case of multi-class, we do have more than two classes, two objects, and that's why the number of classes is more than two. The algorithms that can be used for the binary classification is logistic, k-nearest, decision tree, SVM, naive Bayes. Whereas in case of multi-class classification, it can be also k-nearest neighbor, decision trees, naive Bayes, random forest, and gradient boosting. So there are some of the algorithms which can be useful for binary as well as for the multi-class. Example of the binary classification, as we see that email spam detection, churn prediction, conversion prediction, that is buy or not. Whereas in case of multi-class, you have an example of face classification, that is a more than one faces, two faces, plant species classification, optical character recognition. So this is how you can go with different kinds of examples of binary as well as multi-class. Beyond this, I also want you to see one figure which is very good. Just a moment. Yes. Okay, so this is the figure in front of you. It's a very nice diagram which I found it on the net. You can see that how machine learning is built up, how you build up a machine learning model. So you can take a snap of this also, or if it is required, I will definitely send it here. Let us consider that there is an initial data. So this is an initial data here. Then we can explore this data. So when it is explored in data, that technique can be done with the help of PCA or SOM now, SOM. So
Excuse
PCA,
me, sir.
huh?
Sir, thank you slide is visible to us.
Thank you slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Just a moment, just a moment. Now?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, okay. So you can see from this diagram, everything is clear about how building, how you build up a machine learning model. So how it has been carried out the procedure in one diagram. So this will give you a completely on an average how it works out to be. If you see, we'll start with the initial data set. So here there is an initial data set is there. So in this we are going to explore. Explore the data means we are going to go for the data analysis. So for those two things, two techniques are visible. One is a PCA and the second one is SOM. I'll give you about this SOM because I haven't studied this one, but PCA is a principal component analysis. So obviously that is useful for dimensionality reduction. So you can explore the data here with the help of PCA or SOM. Now, when you explore the data and do an analysis, you come to know a lot of things about it. So after that, you can go for the data cleaning, then data curation, remove the redundant features. So obviously data cleaning means the features which are not uh, not relevant, or it might be the outliers, or we could see that the missing data is there. So all of that can be done on the data set with the help of these three steps. So after data cleaning, curation, and redundant features which look similar, so all those features have to be removed. Then after that, it is given to the pre-processing of the data. So the pre-processing is done with the help of input and output variables. So we have already seen in the first unit that how this pre-processing of the data takes place. So after pre-processing the data, then the data can be split up into test data and train data, so which we have already seen. So obviously for training the data, you need to have a little bit of larger data set. For testing, you can take a little bit 20% of the test set. So this 80% of the training of the data takes place. That means you are moving towards building up a machine learning model. 20% is for the test set to check whether my algorithm is work or validate on the given algorithm. So when you train this, when you have this 80% of the training set, you can apply different parameters, right? So this could be the learning algorithms like SVM, then the decision tree, then KNN, then your random forest algorithm. So all the classifying algorithms which we have studied will come under this. So all these algorithms will be applied on this 80% of the data to train. Okay, so 80% of the data will be trained through this algorithm. Then the hyperparameter optimization will be done. So obviously whenever the algorithm is been applied, the optimization techniques are there. So for these techniques are applied with the help of hyperparameter optimization. Then we'll go for the feature selections, and then we are going to go for cross validation, and then model is trained now. क्रॉस वैलिडेशन मतलब मैंने जो किया है वो सचमुच काम कर रहा है या नहीं, वो मैं क्रॉस वैलिडेट कर सकता हूँ. अब ये 80% के ऊपर जो मैंने ट्रेनिंग का जो मॉडल ट्रेन किया है by applying different algorithms, feature selections and feature construction, transformations, and all these things what we have applied on this 80% of the data. Now I'm going to I'm going to test my new data to this trained model. Now when I'm going to test it, obviously I will get an predicted output, right? So that predicted output is to be tested whether they are correct or not. So how you're going to test it? With the help of classification and regression. So what classification, if you're applying classification, through which parameters are you going to check whether your test set is working or not? Obviously accuracy, sensitivity, specificity, and MCC. These are the parameters if the classification is applied. And if regression is applied, then MC, R square, and RMSE. That is nothing but you're evaluating the model performance, है ना? So यानी कि मेरा जो आउटपुट आया है वो करेक्ट आया है या नहीं, ये मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा? ऑब्वियसली मुझे पता चलेगा कोई तो भी पैरामीटर्स को इवैल्यूएट करके, और वही इवैल्यूएशन जो है वो आपको काम में आएगा. So this is what the machine learning model is. So in this algorithm, actually you're building up the machine learning model. So in the most important part is this one, this pre-processing of the data set, then converting into data into 80 and 20%, and then checking whether my algorithm, the evaluating the model performance will be the another part which is important. So right from initial data set to evaluating the model performance is seen in this slide. You can take a snap of this, or otherwise what I'll do is that I'll share it on WhatsApp group. Yes, have you got it? Okay. So here we end our session. We'll go for the attendance. Division A, roll number 1, roll number 2,
Present, sir.
3, 4.
Hello,
Huh?
sir. Roll number 3 present.
3 is present. 4,
Yes.
5, 6, 7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13, 14,
Present, sir.
15, 16, 17, 18,
Present, sir.
19,
16. Present, sir.
16 is present. 19, 19 is not there. 20,
Present, sir.
21,
Yes, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23,
Present, sir.
24,
Present, sir.
25,
Present, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Present, sir.
28,
Present, sir.
29,
Present, sir.
30,
Present, sir.
31,
Present, sir.
32,
Present, sir.
33, 34, 35,
Present. Present, sir.
okay, 36, 37,
Present.
okay, 37,
Present.
38,
Present.
39, 40,
Present, sir.
41, 42,
Present, sir.
43,
Present, sir.
44,
Present, sir.
45,
Present, sir.
46, 47,
Present, sir.
48,
Present.
49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55,
Sir, 53 present.
okay, 55, 56, 57, 58,
Present, sir.
59,
Yes, sir.
60, 61,
Yes, sir.
62,
Yes, sir, present.
63, 64,
Present.
65,
Present.
66,
Yes, sir.
67,
Present, sir.
68,
Yes, sir.
69,
Yes, sir.
70, 71,
Present, sir.
72.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other number missing out here?
Roll number
4 is there. Next,
1.
roll number 1. Okay. Next,
5, sir.
5 is there. Next. Done. Okay. For B now, roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3,
Present, sir.
4,
Yes, sir.
5,
Present.
6,
Yes, sir.
7, 8, 9,
Present.
9,
Present.
10,
Present.
11,
Present.
12,
Present.
13, 14,
Sir.
okay, 14, 15,
Present.
16,
Present.
17, 18,
Present, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present.
21,
Yes, sir.
22,
Present.
23,
Present.
24, 25, okay, 25,
Present, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Present, sir.
28,
Present, sir.
29,
Present, sir.
30,
Present.
31,
Present.
32,
Present.
33,
Present.
34,
Present.
35,
Present.
36,
Present, sir.
37,
Present, sir.
38,
Yes, sir.
39, 40,
Present, sir.
41, 42, 43,
Present, sir.
44,
Sir.
45,
Present, sir.
46,
Yes, sir.
Present, sir.
okay, 47,
Present, sir.
48, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52,
Present, sir.
53,
Present, sir.
54, 55, 56, 57,
Sir, 54 present आहे.
54 आहे.
Uh,
Okay, 55, 56, 57, 58,
58, sir. Present.
okay, 59, 60, 61,
Present, sir.
62,
Present.
63, 64,
Sir, 63 present आहे.
okay, 64, 65,
Present.
66, 66 is there, 67,
Present.
68, 69,
Present, sir.
okay, 70,
Yes, sir.
71, 72. Any number missing here?
Sir,
Sir, B51.
एक मिनट एक करून सांग.
17, sir.
17, okay,
Roll number 2 from B division.
okay, roll number
Sir,
2,
A17. Gayatri Kod.
A17 का,
Yes.
okay, next,
Sir, B51.
A46.
B51 आहे. हा, त्याच्यानंतर
A46.
A46, okay, नंतर
B08.
B08 आहे, okay, okay, आवाज येत नाहीये तुमचा.
A54.
B54 आहे 54,
Sir, A54.
हा A54 आहे का, अच्छा हा आहे A54, ओके ओके, A54,
Sir, A62.
A62 आहे, ठीक आहे, ओके, झालंय का सगळ्यांचं अटेंडन्स?
So B18.
हा, B
18, sir.
18 है, 18 आहे, ओके,
Sir, B57, sir.
B69 आहे, B57 पण आहे, आहे माझ्याकडे. हा चालेल. शुड बी एंड? ओके, विल स्टॉप हियर.